Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Chesterton's Jest, where we shine an unflinching light on the joys, contradictions, and crises within today's Catholic Church and culture. If you're here for faith, wit, and a little righteous fire, you're in the right place. But before we dive into today's topic, a quick note, and this one's important. We've just added some outstanding new items to our shop. Gourmet, flavoured coffees that smell like sanity, hand-poured candles with scents like sacred space, and graphic tees and hoodies bold enough to make a modernist flinch. Every purchase directly supports the research, production, and fearless commentary you see here at Chesterton's Jest. So if you believe in what we're doing, don't just watch. Stand with us, light a candle, sip the roast, wear the fight, and of course, smash that like button. Share this video with your fellow troublemakers and subscribe so you never miss an episode. Now then, shall we begin? Our topic, up for discussion today: A Pilgrim's Guide to the Holy Mass, the word, the smoke, the turning, and the tune. Part 3, the turning. Id orientem, facing the dawn of the divine. One of the most visibly striking elements of the traditional liturgy is the direction the priest faces during Mass. In many ancient and more traditional churches, the priest and the people all face the same way. Traditionally, that direction is east, during the principal parts of the Mass. To a modern viewer, this might look odd, as if the priest has turned his back on the congregation. A skeptic might quip, "Why is Father ignoring the people?" The curious might notice everyone looking forward toward the altar and wonder what they are looking for. The Catholic faithful, however, know the answer. We are all facing God together. This posture is called ad orientem, Latin for to the east. Symbolically and historically, facing east means facing the rising sun, which for Christians represents the risen Christ, the light of the world. There is a beautiful paradox here. By turning away from the people, the priest is actually guiding the people's gaze to something greater than themselves. He is not ignoring the congregation. He is leading us as a fellow worshipper, heading toward the Lord who comes to meet us. From the earliest centuries, Christians showed a preference for praying toward the east. Churches were often built oriented toward the rising sun. For over 1,000 years, nearly every Mass in Christendom was celebrated with priest and people on the same side of the altar, all facing east, together. In this stance, the priest is like the captain of a pilgrim ship, facing forward, steering toward the east, which is the direction of the promised heavenly homeland. In fact, Jerusalem itself lies to the east of Rome, and it is called the City of Peace, representing the heavenly city of peace where God dwells. Thus, to face Jerusalem or the east during Mass is to remind ourselves that we are oriented toward the heavenly Jerusalem, our ultimate destination. This was the norm in Christian worship for centuries, and it remains common in Eastern Catholic and Orthodox liturgies today. Rather than seeing the priest's back, we might imagine that we are all standing together before God's throne. The unity of posture signifies that priest and people form one body, all humbly bowing before the divine majesty. What about the objection that the priest ought to face the people? Interestingly, Mass facing the people versus populum is a relatively recent innovation and was never an absolute requirement. When the priest faces the congregation across the altar, there is a risk that the feeling of the Mass changes subtly. It can start to feel like a conversation or performance directed at the people. One theologian noted that if the priest faces the people the whole time, it's almost as if the offering of sacrifice is being directed toward the audience rather than toward God. In contrast, ad orientem posture makes clear that the priest is offering the Mass with the people and for the people, but to God. All attention is on the Lord. Pope Benedict XVI once encouraged a rediscovery of ad orientem, reminding the Church that in the liturgy we pray together toward Christ. This posture, far from excluding the congregation, actually includes everyone in a single act of worship. We lift up our hearts and eyes together. The focus is not the personality of the priest or the faces of the crowd, but the coming of Christ, symbolized by the east. There is deep symbolic resonance in facing east. The Bible calls Christ the dayspring or dawn from on high. Christian art often depicts him rising like the sun. By turning east, we enact a living hope in the coming of the Lord. It's as if the whole congregation is keeping watch for the first light of Easter morning, or the return of Christ in glory. This is a posture of expectation and reverence. For the curious observer, it may suddenly make sense. The Mass is not a communal chat, but a journey toward God, and the priest is like a pilgrim leader. For the skeptic, perhaps this image can be illuminating. Sometimes one must turn one's back on the world's distractions in order to face what truly matters. In a culture so focused on seeing and being seen, the ad orientem Mass offers a refreshing counterpoint. Here, we deliberately disappear from each other's view so that only God is in view. In that eastward stance, earthly eyes seek the heavenly dawn. It is a quiet, eloquent way of saying the Mass is all about Him, not me or you. When priest and people together face the altar, it is as if the whole earth turns toward heaven. We become in that moment like the wise men following the star in the east, on a journey toward the presence of Christ. And when the Eucharist is raised, we behold our true East, our Sun of salvation, rising in our midst. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed today's video and share our passion for defending the true faith with a touch of humor, be sure to head over to chestertonsjest.com. Please support us by grabbing a bag of our gourmet-flavored coffee, or take one of our beautifully scented candles, and consider slipping into one of our fun and fervent graphic tees or hoodies, designed to make you think and look good while doing it. Whether you're looking to wear your faith proudly or share a laugh, we've got something for everyone. Visit us today and join the movement, because in times like these, it's more important than ever to stand firm in our beliefs with style and wit. If you love what you hear, please don't forget to support the show by shopping at our store. Your purchase helps us keep this channel running and ensures more great content comes your way. As Chesterton once said, "A madman is not someone who has lost his reason. A madman is someone who has lost everything except his reason." So, let's keep our reason and our faith intact together. Thanks for listening. God bless you, and may the good Lord be praised.